You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
You, the next contestant on. Catch that logo. It's been a hell of a week. Logo week. Everybody's logos are running.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Crazy
Crazy week of logos running. But before we do that,
okay.
Look what we got here. We're bringing something totally unique to the table.
Go ask Alice for the white rabbit. No. Dead rabbit. Oh,
Dead rabbit. So, there's been so much talk of smoke, like smoky drinks, smoke in the Canadian atmosphere, right? We got a lot of fires. That, I want to try smoke. So somebody recommended this thing called Dead Rabbit Irish whiskey. Like, look at that label. That's kind of cool, right? I can kind of appreciate this, right? It's black label. It's white. It's so not minimal as in black, white,
and
copper with some grayscale on the back. And there is, if you look, it's got some great details back here. I just thought it was kind of cool looking.
It's very cool looking.
And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, this is great." But it's the nice thing about it is usually the barrels that we have stuff in, they're sherry. They come from sherry or bourbon
bottles
or
something.
whatever, right?
Or
So
wine
this
casks.
time we've got virgin American oak finish.
Oh!
So we got some virgin barrels.
Wow. I'm surprised nobody has done that.
I can't say I've ever drank a virgin before, so let's try this. I mean, drank from a virgin barrel, that is. Cheers! Hey, wait, get over here.
Salute! Cheers!
Salute.
I was sniffing.
Oh, that smells like something I would use as aftershave. Now, this is Irish whiskey. Oh, it's like very little smoke. Very little.
It's not much.
Like
I thought this would be more scotchy, but this is real. This is whiskey. It's good.
This is very nice,
It's
though.
very good.
There's actually a really good flavor to this.
Yep. Sweet.
It is a little on the sweet side, but my chest is burning right now.
Well, the first sip is well, and considering our health issues of the last couple of days,
I still think it was food poisoning, but whatever.
It might be.
This will clean out any sort of salmonella that's stuck in our system from the food we ate last week.
Well, I tried to poison it on the weekend, but it didn't work, man.
Didn't work. Good for you.
Yeah. But
So we start there.
Yeah.
And then with this crazy logo week, I mean, again, there's been all this talk of, new brands, new logos, new this, and there's some pretty bold things happen this week, okay, in the world of logos.
Yeah.
So number one, I'm extremely shocked about this one. Harley Davidson did something really crazy.
Yes.
So I was, you expect a lot of people to jump on trends, and then the odd, it's oversimplification. Let's simplify it. Let's flatten. Let's get rid of this and that. And then you get, car companies aboard, and it's just like, okay, that's pretty ballsy. But then Harley Davidson comes out with probably the most simplified out of all of them. Right? Because we are talking about it's an outline of their shield and the box with all the text missing. It's just that outline.
Is there color to it?
No.
Like it's just black and white.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm confused. And it's showing up on their website. It's showing up all over the place. I think that this is what they're proposing as their new logo. Like, okay, so shocked on so many levels. Okay, because number one, I mean, the Harley brand is so classic.
Yes.
Right? Harley Davidson, I think, is the number one tattoo, classic tattoo still of all time, right? Because there's so, Harley Davidson, fanatics, fans, brand, whatever you want to call customers are so fanatical about this brand. They tattoo it all over themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
The colors, black, right? Gray
and orange.
Yeah. Right, those they burn in your mind.
Exactly, and the old logo is busy. We'll give it that.
Sure,
but it's legible at a small size.
Yeah,
it's iconic enough that it would stand on its own.
I think it's legendary.
Exactly, it's as popular, I would say, as Coke.
Yeah,
and as
it is
as accepted,
and because it's old.
Yes.
It's everybody looks at. So it's going to this white logo with a black outline. right? Without even the words Harley Davidson in there, like that classic funky orange font, right? Which I thought was so hardcore. I have no idea how to handle this, you know? I'm assuming that they're doing this to try to capture a new audience. Okay, maybe they want to shake off
all
this,
those millennials that can afford those $10,000-$20,000 bikes. Yeah.
Well, and again, or do they even want them, right? Because they're probably going to get all these little electric scooters and these one-wheeled things that you see going down the street.
Yes.
I don't know how to take this one, right? So like this one has been so simplified that I can't say that
it's not right.
I mean, again, this shield looks like a shield that you can go on Fiverr and just, look up shields. And you'll get 50 of them. And hey, that one will work.
Or is it exactly like you said, there's so many security companies now with that same fucking logo. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I can understand simple. And if you're going to simplify it, you keep the colors, you keep the black, and do HDMC.
Sure. Beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful. If you want a new market.
If this is what you want to do, yes. It at least gives you what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But this looks like it literally somebody could go on to Fiverr and literally just grab one, download, or go onto Free Pick or something and just be like, I'll take that shield, thanks.
Yeah. I think they're banking too hard on that shield. It is recognizable, I would agree. Like I saw it and it looks like the Harley. But there is a lot of noise around there.
But okay, it looked like the Harley, but that's because it was the conversation we had. If you just stumbled across it and found it in like a whole page full of like shields on one of these, like,
would I have picked it out?
Would you have been like, oh wait, that one looks just like the Harley symbol?
Like Indiana Jones, he chose wisely. Yeah, you're right. That's true. If I hadn't known that, maybe I would not have picked that out. But yeah, it's certainly disappointing. I think.
I think so.
I don't think that's right.
I'm wait to hear what their what their ideas were. I want to hear what their thinking was, and I'm assuming it was to capture mostly. Rebrands often have to do with that end user.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm curious to see where this one's going to go.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I like the oversimplification of the Harley.
That's not right. No, I don't think so. Thank God nobody else did anything stupid when it comes to great logos this week.
And even more simplified.
Wait, there's more?
I mean, bye-bye Twitter bird, right? Like, goodbye, sayonara, you're out of here. Elon Musk has blown up probably one of the most iconic, recognizable, icons, logos, like animals that the whole world knows.
Yes.
The Twitter logo and Twitter name.
Yes.
Gone. Boom. Like
no more Twitter.
Talk about simplified.
Yeah.
This isn't even a brand overhaul. This is like a brand explosion. So if anybody has no idea what the hell we're talking about, Twitter, the name, the brand, the bird, the logo, gone. It is now called
86th.
X. And this is just, and he wants people to stop referring to them as tweets. And calling them X's.
No.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is what happens when a billionaire starts, has too much time to think at night in bed. And it's not about money. He's like, tweets have to go.
Tweets.
Now it's got to be X's.
Everything.
It's like, okay, now he claims it's an interim logo, but they went pretty far with this, what do you want to call it? 99 design style X. Because it's like,
he got the full Fiverr package, did he?
He got the full-blown $25 version, okay, with unlimited revisions. Doesn't look like he used many of them. Like, okay. In all fairness, I mean, the X, I think I like letter, obviously.
The X is cool.
I think it's a cool letter, right? I think the move is extremely bold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we're here to talk about today is this whole episode is pretty much going to be about this crazy ass move to X and brands and everything else.
Yeah.
Wait, let's just build a whole episode out of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it almost begs for us to do this.
It is so topical right now.
Yes.
So again, it's oversimplified. I guess that's part of the whole point.
Right.
He made it one color right now. That's all it is. I don't even know how to take up with this.
But this is the thing: is he had one of the most beautiful logos, word marks, logos. I mean,
extremely recognizable.
It was gorgeous. It was perfect. Everything worked together. Twitter, tweet, Bird. You know what I mean? Like, and this is something that's been ingrained in us for, I don't know, how long has Twitter been around?
Well, Twitter's been around for, something like that, like 16, early 2000s. So I guess, you know what, nobody ever knows what this guy's doing. And that's why this is crazy. Okay. He is definitely obsessed with X's. Yeah. Because his first company, okay, was X. Okay. So he's already founded X. Okay. Yeah. Which, in 1997, which eventually turned into PayPal. Right? But originally it was X.com, right? Then he founded SpaceX. Okay.
That's what.
And now his AI company is X.ai. Right? So, and now X. So, I mean, he's a total perv. Triple X. X. Okay. He's like, we know what he's up to.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, once he gets into porn, he's got his name picked out already. It's TripleX.com.
Here's the build-up. Okay. Here's the build-up. Tech is Elon's porn. And he's cementing it now. The whole world. But I mean, again, it's it's kind of like he woke up one day. And it was Sunday night to Monday, and he's like, I'm just going to rebrand it X.
Done.
So he is really fascinated with this X, this whole thing. But going back to tech, billionaires, and when they kind of want to come up with their own names and their own logos, this is not necessarily their forte.
No.
Okay? Because God knows, remember Twitter Blue, for the record? Okay.
Right. What was that?
I'm not even sure. It was a nice nod to the 80s, right? And good for him there.
Was it?
Well, I mean, I showed it to you, remember? It looked like it was like partial synthwave. Yes.
Yeah, that logo.
Yeah,
yes.
Right? But I mean, okay, tech billionaires should stay in the tech business, okay? Because, I mean, you get people like Elon creating companies named X, which at the very least is kind of cool because it's X.
Yeah.
But let's look at some of these other people, okay? Good old Mark Zuckerberg, changed his company to Meta. Okay,
that's right.
And again, and not only that, he grabbed this logo that was a total ripoff from something else. And
even the name. The name was from another company had the name Meta.
How do you even own this, right? So again, good old, Mark Zuckerberg, decides to come along and do, Meta. Amazon's original name, Jeff Bezos. Okay, another tech billionaire. Well, Amazon wasn't always Amazon. It started as Cadabra. As in abracadabra. Here you go.
Yeah, get it. Yeah. It's hard to make that one work, I'll bet.
Yeah. Needless to say, it's a good thing he went over to Amazon because I think Cadabra sounds like cadaver.
Yeah, Cadabra.
Right?
Yeah, it sounds a little
like
deathy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But good old Jeffy's attempt at, trying to come up with the brand. And then, of course, you got the Google boys. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Google's original name? Back Rub. So,
we just go to backrub.com here. Whoa. That's not the search engine.
Right? Can you imagine if it stuck as back rub, okay? You wouldn't be saying just Google it.
Yeah, just back rub it.
I'm just going to go rub off a search, Sean.
Just rub one out. Yeah, just rub one out.
Rub one out. Oh, what a disaster. So thank God that got changed as well, right? But honestly, it's like a mess. These guys don't deserve to be. So it's when more informed people
come in.
Step in and they're like, I don't know if back rub is the right word here or cadabra. Unfortunately, nobody got to Mark before Meta came along.
Well, this is the thing. I think he's in one of those categories where it's like he's untouchable. You know what I mean? Like he's such a whack job nowadays that I think he's probably doing this for some sort of shits and giggles. I don't know.
Elon?
Yeah. Like he's nuts.
He's literally some craziness about this because I mean he is eccentric doesn't even cover.
Yeah, you're right. That's
what he is. Because I mean, but at the same time he has all these crazy plays. Like he's one of these like really crazy chess players and he's always thinking so many steps ahead and he did plan, although he's taken Tesla for a hell of a ride, it's still one of the most valued stocks, and I don't know, people are behind him on it totally slipped during this whole fiasco when he went over to Twitter, which is now X. Now, it's not to say that giant companies can't have successful rebrands.
This is true.
Okay. A couple that I did pull out here that I thought, would be cool to, to say that it is possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And especially considering how everything's been going with Twitter, is it possible to turn something like this around? Maybe. Okay. For example, believe it or not, Lego. Okay. Huge rebrand with Lego, okay?
Really?
A rebrand isn't always name and identity, right? So
Yeah,
we're obviously
true.
graphic designers,
Good
right?
point.
So we deal with a lot of the visual, right? And we love that. But again, I'm a huge fan of brand.
Yeah.
A lot of money in brand. And, fairness, branding and graphic design go very closely together. And I think graphic designers in the future are going to have to embrace a lot more of this. But another topic, right? But Lego was literally on the verge of bankruptcy. Okay. And not even that long ago, right?
Yeah.
2003. So, okay, interesting story.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to be blown away, look at the history of Lego. I think it's Magnet Media on YouTube has an incredible Lego story from beginning to end. They were cursed continuously to fail. And they still now, one of the most valuable brands in the world.
God.
But it was only it was less than it was literally 20 years ago. 20 years ago, right? 2003, they were on the verge of bankruptcy.
Holy shit.
Okay. Which is hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
And the reason being is because they got into everything. They were like, well, the whole world loves us. So let's open up a fucking theme park. Let's open up clothing line. Let's open up jewelry, right? And they started, really over diversifying
Expanding big time.
everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Making everything and everything was shit. Okay.
Right.
And again, it took them literally right to the brink of bankruptcy. And then what happened is with the right leadership, okay, they turned around the company by basically focusing in on the one core product, the brick.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Big
They
time.
dumped everything. They sold off their parks. They reduced the number of bricks they'd even produced because, again, they went right back to their roots, right? Went down to minimal. Then the company ended up, they created this whole Lego based on their users. They did this Legos Creators Initiative, okay, which they basically told the people on, and again, bringing the customer to them, right?
Yeah.
They're like, listen, you come up with Lego sets. You guys are great, because again, it's a very passionate group of people who love Legos.
Yeah.
This Creators Initiative, what they did is they said, you come up with the ideas, and if we choose yours, not only will we build it, but you will get 1% of the net profit for that set. So what are you going to get? All of a sudden, that's a huge fucking,
That's
that's
massive.
a wicked contest.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, all these passionate Lego people came out and they all of a sudden started building all this shit and submitting it. So they were getting all this great
these awesome
feedback ideas, right?
For cheap.
For that, right? Then they got, the Lego movie came into play, right?
Right.
Absolutely fucking huge. Okay. And so what they did is they literally rebuilt the company based on their core product. So, their key takeaway here for this successful brand launch, right, was that they understood in the end what their brand was and what it wasn't.
Right.
And that was key, right?
Yeah.
So they dropped off everything else. They dropped off what wasn't working and they doubled down on what their core people market wanted.
Right.
Right. So that's what turned them. And now, again, it's bigger than ever.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking, they're pulling retro shit from the 70s again and 80s.
And we're buying it.
And we're buying it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not uncommon
Yeah.
to see $1,000 Lego set,
totally.
which is insane. And they're sold out.
And they're all gone.
Fucking sold
Yes,
out.
exactly.
Okay. So again, Lego, good one. Burger King. Okay.
Yes.
Another company, right?
Yeah.
Huge rebrand here. They rebranded in 2021 after 20 years. And it was out with that blue shit and the shiny buns, right? Which they realized wasn't necessarily working. And they went back to something a little bit more classic looking that was more focused on, the taste, the experience of what people remembered a good burger to be. They didn't want people to focus on that fast food bullshit. They wanted to go back to a time when it was like real food, right? And not focus on all the preservatives and shit, right? And so they rebranded that. that rebrand was incredible because they rebranded not only, the company, the logo, right, the menus, but then the packaging, the uniforms, the marketing rollout campaign, and they unrolled it all basically at once, which is incredible to think, and like just the magnitude of what they rolled out here. Like even the uniforms, they all look like they were like total 70s fashion, like icons off the runway.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
It was cool looking.
But it also has kind of a new flavor to it.
Totally
Just like
does.
just like a hint of something modern.
Well,
you know?
I think because they had to incorporate it to go online,
Ah.
right? And because they took old, they twisted it, updated a bit so it worked online. And I think that's that vibe that we're getting, right?
Yes.
Where it's like,
Yes.
they had to do some tweaks to the artwork to make it work online.
Exactly.
Okay?
And with the outfits and stuff like that, I mean, it's still brown, but it's a cooler shade of brown.
It is a cooler shade, but again, it looks like food again.
But it's still
that old logo, had this tan color, looked like a camel. And it had blue. Why the hell blue? So needless to say, the rebrand for Burger King was part of a bigger strategy to go back to its roots and start creating better food, right? The quality of ingredients that included, right? So that was part of that initiative.
Yeah.
And the key takeaway there was that their rebrand showed not only just the power of bringing back something nostalgic to people, but then also realigning, your brand with the product that you stand behind.
Right.
Okay. So it's a huge difference. Again, so realigned, for, creating something that people wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starbucks. Okay. Rebrand number 3.
Right.
Okay. So Starbucks, again, I fucking love the Starbucks story. Again, another story worth watching. By Magna Media. I'm not promoting these people, but they really shouldn't. It was a fantastic documentary, which I'm a big nerd about. But the company's been around for almost 50 years now. Okay. And again, great growth story. But what happened is in 2000s, they started expanding so much, everybody was making fun of them, right? I think there were some spoofs on Simpsons about it.
Totally.
About just
Starbucks
wait 5 minutes, there'll be another location opening up right over here, right? And
exactly.
It was what was happening is they lost sight, of what their initial goal was. They were expanding so much and they were growing. All of a sudden, they completely lost sight of the whole reason they got into this, right? And again, they started losing money. Their shares started dropping, right? It started, kind of really imploding.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what they did is they obviously redid the logo. Okay, they got rid of the Starbucks coffee name around the logo, and they focused back on what they originally started Starbucks for, which was the coffee experience. Okay, the reason why initially Starbucks took off was because of the experience that they wanted people to have. It wasn't obviously great coffee was at the core of it,
right?
Okay,
but the shops itself.
But it was the shop. It was the people. It was walking in. It was the sounds. It was so meticulously planned. Okay, that brand, it spoke experience right to the point where people would put your name on the cup. Okay, because when he was so in love with the Italian baristas and coffee experience that it seemed like it was like a community place that everybody knew everybody's name. He wanted to bring that here. Completely lost sight of that. So when they did the rebrand, right, he kind of pulled back. They shut down a lot of stores. He went through this crazy training, retrained everybody on the basics all over again. It was insane. The shutdown, how this actually went, right? And then they changed their hiring process. They changed how they made everything, how they greeted everybody. Notice, Starbucks, it's like they're almost clones. Everybody at Starbucks equally friendly. If there's like a minute to kill while you're waiting for your order, they ask you how your day's going. What are you up to today, right? So again, and again, how successful could it have been? I mean, like 10 years later, and I mean, I think Starbucks is bigger than ever at this point, right? So again, in this case, their rebrand, this successful rebrand wasn't necessarily about the look and the packaging, because that still hasn't changed, even though they removed the Starbucks coffee around the ring. Okay. This was more about the experience, right? The customer's experience, and realigning that to their original mission.
Yes.
Okay. So again, I have to stress, rebrands aren't just always creative, right? And the last one, this one actually was partially creative. Okay. But I think it's because the original creative was probably hurting them. Okay. GoDaddy. Okay. So interestingly enough, they did a rebrand 2018, 2020. Okay. Where what they started doing is they actually took their logo and dropped their little Fred guy.
Yeah,
remember the
guy
nerd
with
guy?
the hair.
They slowly made him cooler over the years, but
Yes.
he still never got rid of that intentional nerd look that
Right.
they initially started from.
Very 90s.
Problem is, they weren't, who buys fucking domain names? Not personal people.
Yeah.
And now it's not, your late 90s, early 2000s, so-called nerds, but it was business people.
Right.
But the problem is, there wasn't a single business person who would buy anything from GoDaddy because it wasn't
childish.
serious. Look, it was
Yeah.
childish.
Yeah.
It was geared towards nerds,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And again, nerds are cool.
Yeah.
But
No, yeah.
having a little old nerd icon, or logo, and you're just asking for trouble, right?
Yes, yes.
So again, their whole rebrand was in a bigger effort to align GoDaddy with entrepreneurs. Okay, so then they dropped him. Then they redid a new logo with this whole heart concept about, and made it very entrepreneur centric. So now it's like, now this whole new look and feel is all about the entrepreneurial spirit.
Right.
Okay. And then, like they dropped him and now they're trying to bring in and it's perfect for any small business. And obviously it's worked because GoDaddy is bigger than ever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So again, key takeaway there is that, the logo and the brand message, you have to make sure those two align right with the company's mission
Yep.
and their target audience.
Yes.
Okay. And that's key, right? That's
Yep.
huge.
Yeah.
Because if you misalign, your messaging, your brand with your target audience, dude, you're dead in the water.
Yes,
Right?
big time.
Absolutely dead in the water.
Big time. But I mean, it's funny because you think something like that it just smacks of the time that it came out. You know what I mean? Like that GoDaddy with the kind of funky. What was that? Was that 7-Up guy that came out where he was?
Oh my
remember
God,
him?
I remember that. That
Yeah,
was like,
it was like
80s, 90s.
It was like around that time. Where it was like a throwback to that. Kind of thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I see what you're
But it
saying.
but you're right. It doesn't seem professional.
Well, it did,
Which
and that was the
you
problem,
want to kind
right?
of ditch that shit, right?
Early on,
Yeah.
it felt like a low cost
Yeah.
domain provider, right?
That's right.
Then and it
looked like it,
and it looked
was.
like it, and it was.
Yes.
So was I gonna, buy Z Factor domain from them?
Yeah.
Would I trust GoDaddy with like if I had to try to find me my zfactor.com logo or whatever?
Yeah.
Like no, absolutely, or domain. It wouldn't happen. I wouldn't trust that company.
No, exactly, because it just looks shady or junior or
Exactly,
rinky-dink,
right?
second rate,
So
whatever.
it is possible to have these brand overhauls,
Yes.
right? Relaunches.
Yep.
It's just
And do it right.
when it comes to and do it right, because this is examples of people who've done it right.
Yes,
But there
exactly.
is for every one example of a company that's done it right, there's so many that have done it wrong.
There's an Elon Musk.
There's Elon Musk, right? And again, this guy, he is, miles smarter than anybody I know.
Is he a genius? Or what's the deal here?
I think he literally lives on a different plane than the rest of the world.
But some of the stuff it
So
just doesn't
out there,
seem
right?
right.
It does it, right?
Yeah, but anyway.
So, no. And so with that said, I was trying to think, okay, obviously, you go anywhere and you're like, well, why should a business rebrand? Give me reasons. And you go anywhere and there's five reasons why this company should, 10 reasons why you should, do a rebrand, 20 reasons. Yeah. Okay. There's a million of them out there. Okay. I was trying to think what would be reasons to rebrand according to Elon Musk.
Oh.
Okay. So again,
inside the mind of the genius.
A genius inside the mind of another
Exactly.
genius.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah,
I think that's pretty. I ain't no genius, that's for sure.
Oh, you're smarter than him, man. I'm totally confident of that.
well, I'm trying to figure out, obviously there are your reasons why you should rebrand. So why is Elon Musk rebranding
Okay.
Twitter? So I did try to write some stuff here,
I would
right?
like to know, yes.
So of course, at the high level, right? The most obvious one, technology advancement. Okay, a good reason for people to rebrand their companies if all of a sudden they have some sort of new technology and they want to put it out there, right? So in his case, I think the technology advancement, he wants to turn what was Twitter, which is now X, into this super app.
Oh.
Okay. Kind of like, what happened in China, with Tencent and all those. I think it's Tencent that owns it. But, like in China, it's like they've got a single app that you do everything for.
Oh.
Absolutely. You shop on it. You order food on it. It's got your health number on it. It's a super app. You haven't heard about this?
No, I've never heard about that.
Yeah. You do your banking on it. You try everything in one. So I have a feeling, okay, that, and he's gone public in the past saying stuff like this and hinting to this. So So I think number one, he wants to rebrand this. Is kind of like step one, rebrand, so he can kind of build this super app. So technology advancement. Okay. Number
cool.
one. Number two, stay relevant. Okay. Yeah. That's a very common reason for companies to, rebrand. So I think for him, Twitter made sense when it was 140 characters, and that was it.
Right.
Because then it's like, 140 characters to one person, 140 back. So you're kind of like birds tweeting, tweet,
It's
right?
quick and easy. It's digestible.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
Right? It's not 140 characters. You can upload images, you see videos, you see links. So it's not what it was. Right? So in order to stay relevant with the platform, he's like, let's call it what it is. It's not that cute little, tip tap type of platform. Right?
Yeah.
So, I think that was another potential reason why he made this move. Okay.
Yeah. It's changed.
You need to disassociate from your brand from negative perceptions. That's another reason why people, okay?
Okay.
So now let's face it, okay? There has been so much bad press over Twitter, right?
Yes.
Prior to him and post. So prior to him, there was bad management, right? He was always throwing, bombs over to him, saying it's bots. Then the guy buys the place and he makes it just as bad, right? He starts firing everybody.
Yeah.
Then he goes publicly saying how it was run like shit, right? Again, and it's just like, it was very dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, here's this guy who bought, Twitter for billions of dollars.
44.
Okay. And he's basically saying it's it's a worse mess than I thought. Okay. So again, he's trying to disassociate, the brand from, what everybody understands it as, right? So oddly, if X all of a sudden starts doing really well, people will forget the Twitter disaster behind it. Okay? So again, and this is a very common reason why people do rebrand, right? Something horrible happened and they just want to separate themselves from it.
Meta.
Yeah, precisely. Which means next week, Mark Zuckerberg is going to come out with F.com. Back to the Facebook. Mark, what you bringing us, buddy?
Yeah, come on, buddy. Yeah. You know all about this.
All right. Another reason, okay? Audience expansion. Okay. So again, this is common for branding, but in this case, okay, he claims, and right from the start, he claimed that the bots, the numbers were fake. It was all bots. It was all bot traffic, this, that.
Yep.
And now he's saying that there's a fraction, like a third of actual users versus there is, right? So again, he revealed the numbers, okay? And now he's gone public by saying, and you can't blame him on this.
No.
He revealed it. He's like the savior on this one. But again, now he wants to expand the audience.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he feels confidently that he could do it under the Twitter banner.
Twitter.
Right? Because it's basically the whole thing's a fraud.
Right.
Shit, dude. But I don't even know how much of that's legit. Because shit, I was kicked out of Twitter.
Oh, were you?
I know. And I'm like, I'm not a bot. Fuck. That's why Angry Designer is not on Twitter. I was just like, fuck you, Elon.
Really?
Yeah,
is that true?
I know, right?
Oh my
it's
God.
so random.
Interesting.
So I do think that that's potentially another reason why he did this. Okay. Reputation management.
Oh.
Okay. Companies do this. They rebrand to kind of keep control of the reputation and bring things back. Okay. Now, again, for him, this is a chance for him to flex his ego. Okay. So again, keep in mind, this is the guy, okay? This is the guy who woke up his engineers in the middle of the fucking night to come to the office and make tweaks to the algorithm because he was upset that Joe Biden's Super Bowl tweet was doing more than his. And he was so obsessed with that, and he was so upset he brought his people in there and to make adjustments to the algorithm so it shoot his up and show his even more. So this guy has got an ego that is fucking crazy here. So I think that, by him doing this, it's his way of flexing his fucking ego, right? Being like, I did this with PayPal. I did this with Tesla. I did this with SpaceX. I'm going to do it here. Check out these packs. And I honestly... I think that has a huge part to do with it, although he doesn't think of it as ego. But
no, he wouldn't, because he's not in that headspace.
He's in a different kind of headspace.
This is just what it is.
This exactly, right?
Okay.
And mission alignment.
Mission
I
alignment.
think is another reason, and that's one of the more common reasons why companies will rebrand themselves is because they've realigned their mission. So he originally took on Twitter, okay, to do this freedom of speech platform.
Right.
That was what he went in with.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he started getting, bots and this and that. And then he had to hire a CEO. And while he's doing this, Zuck comes in with Threads. Okay.
Threads, and that's the new Twitter.
Threads is the new Twitter. And I mean, it was the fastest growing app of all time.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, whether it's doing good or not, I don't know. Okay. I've been there. It's okay.
Yeah.
I started and I was just like, wow, this just feels like nothing. Right. And it's very watered down. Right.
Right.
But he went public and started teasing Zuckerberg by saying it's a cheery meta clone.
Oh.
Okay. It's a cheery meta clone. Okay. And that the new X, okay. And he said this, the new X is going to be edgier and dangerous. And it's going to be an everything app.
Interesting.
So he's already putting it out there that it's like, you know what, Threads, like, fine. So he's already changed his mission from being, the freedom app and, freedom of speech and this. No, he's already switched that.
Gone. Yeah, that's done.
The funny thing is, if you see the new X landing page, it totally reflects this. It's edgy. It is kind of cool. I mean, I'm sorry. I like things that are bold and edgy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a whack job, but but if you see the new landing page, okay, the new X landing page, used to be formerly known as Twitter, it's like, it's got the big bold X, it's got paint splotch colors, it's got words. It is edgy, it is cool. And I looked at it and a part of me was kind of like,
oh, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool because Threads has got this really soft and cute, vibe, where this has got a little bit more kick to it.
Yeah.
So I do think that, mission alignment, is another reason. So these are the reasons why I think he is doing this.
This is interesting. Like, this is kind of fascinating. On the outside of things, I'm thinking, and I don't know, maybe other people are thinking the same thing. It just seems like a knee-jerk reaction from some crazy ass, eccentric dude.
Yep.
But those points that you pointed out make it sound like he actually has a plan with this. And that last one is especially poignant because it's like, this is your mom's Twitter.
It is.
We're doing fucking hardcore tweeting
We're
now.
amping this up. I'm slapping and we're Xing.
Yes, and that makes sense. That absolutely makes this crazy thing that he's doing kind of like, oh, I get it. He's actually following the rules a little bit.
I know. And this is why it's like I'm saying, this guy, it's like he's either a madman or he's so fucking genius
Maybe
that
he's
it's
both. Is he both?
Well, I think to be a billionaire, you need to be.
God.
Right? I do.
In the Anchorman, where the two TV stations meet, and it's like, I hate you with every fiber of my being, but God damn it, I respect you. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is
and
with
then
him.
It started as 2 to 8 of them, and he's like, wow, that escalated
really quickly. Yeah, exactly.
That is so true. And that's what's happening here.
That's kind of what it is. It's like, geez, this guy might be on the right track with this kind of thing. It is a rebrand in that sense, probably because Zuck put out Threads. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, you want to do that little baby shit? Here you go.
Let me show you. You know what this is like?
Yeah.
I feel like we're little Japanese people living in Tokyo, and we're watching Godzilla and Mothra fight, and we're just running for clearance.
Oh no, we must flee!
Watching them just battle each other, watching these giants.
You're right, and see what happens.
Right? I mean, they keep going on about this cage fight that's gonna happen. So I'm sure, dude, I don't know. I'm curious.
Wow, that's actually absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thank you, sir.
Nicely done digging that shit out. That's actually convinced me, like,
maybe there is a little bit more to it.
He's
right?
smarter than I gave him credit for.
I know, right? I don't want to give him. And if some of these, it could have been a little bit more strategic than I think.
And I think you're right. Maybe it's his execution that is kind of suffering a little bit.
But dude, if I show you that, go take a look at that page.
I will. I'm going to.
It actually kind of makes you be like, well, maybe I can get behind this. And I don't know. It's yet to be seen, but
it's GoDaddy.
Well,
essentially,
it is essentially right. Like it kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. What I did is 5 things you need to have in place for a successful rebrand.
Right.
Okay. So I broke this down, and this is not necessarily for Elon. We're still going to watch Elon's outcome here.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, and if he maybe I'm onto something, maybe I'm fucking off. But
I hope so.
I am passionate about rebranding. Almost, like a brand is such a big part to me. Brand and logo design and brand identity it's one world that I live in, right?
Yep.
So I love those worlds. So I kind of, thought for you guys, okay, if you're going out to pitch people, okay, and rebrands, why they need rebrands and this and that, right? These are 5 things that I feel you need to have in place, okay, to be able to successfully relaunch a brand, okay?
Yeah.
So obviously, number 1, more than anything else, okay, you need to have a solid brand strategy in place.
Right.
Okay. This episode, this is not about a brand strategy, how to do it. We can do another episode about that. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
But you need to have a solid brand strategy in place. And this talks about like the core branding principles. You need elements like your positioning, what your competitive differentiator is, right?
Wow.
Your voice. Okay. You need to figure out what it is that you're actually speaking. Your audience. You need to know your audience, the personas, and most importantly, the problem that you're solving, right? So this is all encompassing of the brand strategy. So number 1, you need a brand strategy in place.
Yep.
Number 2, okay, you need an internal brand advocate in the company, someone to champion this, not your marketing contact.
Yeah.
Okay, contact, because unfortunately, marketing people sometimes aren't necessarily taken seriously.
Right.
You need to get up there and get them to convince the CFO, the CMO, somebody in the higher suite to get on board with this rebrand and why. Because that person, number 1, everybody will take more seriously than marketing, unfortunately.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
unless it is the CMO.
Yes.
Unless it's CMO, but then the CMO will just take the idea for himself and run with it. So let's not go there, right? But and then that champion, okay, that advocate will then get the rest of the company buy-in. They'll get their buy-in because it's like, holy shit, this is coming from the top. He really believes this.
Yeah.
He's working with marketing. They're rebranding us for it's legit, right?
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference, okay?
Yeah.
So that's number 2, okay? So you need a brand advocate. Number 3, you got to do a brand audit. Okay, and what I mean by audit is you got to find out everywhere that has the different messaging, the different, logos, the different colors, this, that. You need to do a giant audit and let them know that these are all the different touch points that customers are seeing that have to be aligned.
Need to be changed. Yeah.
This is great for you, of course, because this gives you an idea of how big the scope of the project is.
Exactly.
But this is how, companies end up with $200 million rebrands, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
very, very important. You need to be able to do this, okay? Number 4, then you've got to work on the brand identity, which is the fun part, right? This is when we get to work on the cool ass logo, and what it sits on and what the rest of the rollout material looks like, what the identity looks like, right?
Yeah.
And the campaigns they're going to follow, right?
Yeah.
This is all part, huge important, but this has to come after number 1, 2, and 3, of course, right?
Yeah.
And then number 5, and this is the hard one, but if you can get this, almost any company will be on board. You need to have some measurable effectiveness of this initiative, okay? So unfortunately, rebranding, okay, is often referred to as measuring ghosts, okay? And it's a neat term,
that.
but the reality is it's hard to measure something that is, emotional, that has that's something that, you just can't measure, because often this is something that, people feel when you hear, describe a brand, it's that initial feeling you get when you talk about a company or something, right?
Yeah.
So again, you have to find ways to measure the success of this campaign. Now, often, it can be sales, but sales is often a long, gestation on some of the companies. It's not necessarily today to tomorrow,
Right.
depending on the ask. But other ways, of course, is, customer engagement. How much are people interacting with you on social, on your website, in different platforms? Reviews. Are your reviews going up? What's your website traffic doing? Are people spending more time on the page? Are they visiting unique pages, right? Are you getting new leads? Are you being talked about more in the news? You have to find something measurable to then gauge this by.
Right.
If you can get all 5 of these things in place and approach a company, like with this in front, it's almost going to guarantee that success as long as you have them all in line, right messaging, right creative, right measurement, right? And I think that's kind of what I dissected from before,
right?
With those companies and what we're dealing with now with the previous companies.
Yes, because I was thinking that sounds a lot like Lego.
Exactly.
Lego is engaging their actual users, their clients, and saying,
right?
This is the fun stuff. This is what I would like to see. You know what I mean? Like that's a brilliant way.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think, I often think about this, and this is usually how we go. We try to, every rebranding project, we try to make sure we check these boxes. We have everything in place.
Yeah.
They've all been good.
Yeah.
And we've had great success, and we've had and again, we're in a different world.
Yeah.
We're in the B2B world, which is, some people can say it's harder, some people can say it's easier, because God knows our sales cycles are longer. But the reality is, when they're telling you that all of a sudden this year has outdone the past 3 years, or their whole entire company is behind this, and they're re-energized and re-motivated, and they're all saying the same story, and they all believe, this is a good sign.
Yeah,
this means that this is working well.
Yeah.
So follow this, and I think almost any company will be good. This is the Z Factor way. This is the way we do it.
Yes.
So take it for what it is, but
yeah, these are great. That's absolutely opposite of what Elon would do.
What Elon would do.
But hey, I mean, if that works for you, this is a guarantee.
Yeah,
that that's going to work for you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, those are really good. So what is that ghost? What is it? Ghost measurements?
The measuring ghost. So
Measuring
it's a term
ghosts.
that, when people are talking about measuring the effectiveness of branding or rebrand.
Yes.
Okay. So it's that term, measuring ghosts. Because again, often, right, how effective a brand is, like Nike. You can't say it's a good or brand. It's you get a feeling.
You just get a vibe
Nike.
from it.
You get a vibe, right? And you're going to buy. They could put out a campaign. You may never see the campaign they put out next week, next month, next year, right?
Yeah.
But they've done such a good job branding so far that you got this feeling.
You just know.
But they can't measure that.
Right.
That's impossible to measure.
I see.
So that's why oftentimes these whole campaigns that are just brand level campaigns, they're just putting out high level messages. They're just, associating themselves with these, new, I wouldn't say trends, but, new visions or your way or one way or whatever, right?
Right.
It's cool. It's motivational. It's inspirational.
Yeah.
You can't measure that shit.
No, you can't.
Can't measure that.
You really
right?
can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of perpetuating what the brand is all about.
If the brand is doing it right,
If the brand,
100%.
it just keeps it going.
Like imagine being in like a Nike position, right?
Yes.
How do they measure brand effectiveness? Nike's their number one asset is their brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Whatever,
They have done such a good job. Everybody knows it.
King.
You know, everything. The steps that they did to rebrand, right? Their shoes, right? The whole Jordan,
line,
signing
everything.
up Jordan, right?
Yeah.
But again, we're talking 20, 30, 50 years
Yeah.
of like,
It's a long game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's like measuring ghosts, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's really
interesting. It's a neat term, but
It
I
is.
totally get that.
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense. I kind of get that now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. Speaking of Nike,
Oh.
so when people are going to be listening to this episode, where are we going to be, Sean?
We're going to be in Portland,
Oregon. We're going to be into the woods.
Into the woods.
Right?
Lincoln Design
We are fucking
Co.
going to Lincoln's Design Conference. And the reason why I say Nike is the keynote speaker is Tinker Hatfield, right? Is going to be the Nike designer. The man. So by the time you guys are listening to this, I think we're going to be on our second day of, amazingness. And, we're probably going to cover it. I'm probably going to throw up a couple posts. I mean, why not? We're there, right? Which is going to be kind of weird. So you're going to be getting this and you're going to be like, hey, wait, I just saw you talk about this. Fucking looking forward to this more.
This is going to be cool, man.
Going to meet a lot of really cool people.
This is kind of one of those interesting things where it's a little daunting because it's a lot of people there. There's some heavy hitters.
There's some
heavy
people.
fucking hitters there.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
I know. It's like
I'm going to be walking around with my.
I know, right? Oh, no,
That's right. We'll be the Wayne and Garth.
Wayne and Garth. I'm Wayne.
Okay,
I call it.
I'm Garth. He's the drummer anyway, man.
But it's true. I mean, again, this is going to be an amazing conference.
Yeah,
and our next episode, we'll tell you all about it.
Yes.
Right?
It's going to be fun. I know it's going to be fun.
And I guess we're going to drop one more little hint. We're also doing something special in 2 days we are interviewing our next guest, and I'm not telling you anything about our next guest other than Holy shit, they're the fucking another side of the world time zone.
Yeah, you'll notice when we do this, we'll have big fucking bags under our eyes.
Because we're waking up and doing the interview at 7 in the morning.
That's right.
So there won't be any, unfortunately, there won't be any whiskey.
Yeah, there won't be any whiskey.
But there might be some
copious
Starbucks.
amounts of coffee, probably, yeah.
So, and that's all we're going to say.
Yes.
But looking forward to
It's
this
gonna
talk.
be awesome.
Absolutely.
This guy's
looking
the bomb.
forward. I know, right? I know. And again, yes, I'm sorry. It's another dude.
I know.
But
We're
again,
trying hard.
Again, we're trying. People reach out to us. We reach out to them. It's who we're talking to in our circles. We have a group of people.
That's right.
And it's we reach out to people on Instagram. People are reaching out to us. People follow us. We follow them.
Yeah.
Conversations start. And it's just like, dude, I admire what you're doing. I love what you're saying. Let's talk.
Yes.
Or often, sometimes they come to us and be like, hey, let's talk. Good for what you're doing. So regardless.
We would love to have Paula Shearer or Jessica Heesh on here. Like, I mean, that would
That'd
be fucking awesome.
Still working on that one.
That would be fucking great. But these are some fucking big league people here we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we're working. We're working hard
there.
for
We're
you.
working hard. However, no excuses.
Yeah.
Love who we're having. And this is just kind of like, it's just, we're right there.
This gentleman is awesome.
Yeah. So I look forward to this.
Yeah.
And you guys should just.
It's always great to talk to, people who
are passionate.
Are into the same kind of vibe, the headspace that we're in,
And who share shit that you guys can use on a regular basis.
Exactly.
That's fucking gold.
Yes,
and
totally.
this is the people I respect.
And he's one of those guys too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. I won't sleep. But it's okay.
Right? It's okay. It's going to be tiring couple days. I'm looking forward to it. That's for sure.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yes. And then, with the whole Lincoln thing, that's going to be absolutely interesting. Never, ever done anything like this. Have you ever done anything like this?
No, not to this degree. This is an entirely different type of design conference. Right. There's nothing like this. This, as far as we're concerned, I mean, this is the farthest side of the country for us.
Yeah.
This is totally like we're traveling many hours. Man, we could be going to Europe.
Yeah.
Okay. And hanging out over in Italy.
Yeah.
Probably less time to get to Italy than it is going to Portland.
This is true. But although it is only maybe 5 hours from Vancouver. So.
No. It's
Portland.
It's like Portland's like half hour from Vancouver.
Oh,
we're 5 hours. It's right there.
Oh, it's a half hour from Vancouver?
It's just right underneath, dude.
I know it's like really close. Seattle's close.
Dude, we're 5 hours.
We're like on the other side of the
We are
continent.
5 hours.
Yes. Yeah, we're literally traveling across the country.
Going across the country.
Yeah.
And
that's
I thought
true.
my geo sucked.
Wait, is Waterloo the center of the earth? Yeah, it is.
Waterloo
I
is
think it
the center of the earth, Sean.
Center of the universe. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Not to get too technical, but if the universe is always ever expanding like they claim it is, technically you are at the center. Think about that. Think about that.
Oh,
right? Think about that. It's pretty fucking deep. It's pretty deep.
I've had a couple of drinks, and that really kind of.
I'm going to leave everybody with that. And you know what the sad part is? Elon Musk knows this.
Yeah.
And that's why he's building a spaceship, because that dude is he's going to figure it out.
Yes, and he'll be gone. He'll be gone. He'll be Xing from space.
Xing from space. So it'll be fun to see how this plays out, though.
Yeah, I
in
can't
the next
wait.
couple days.
I can't wait. Are you rooting for him, or are you hoping he
So
flops
initially I was just
miserably?
like, are you fucking kidding me? This is ridiculous. But the more, and again, the more I went through it and I was trying to rethink this, the more I'm like, I think he's got a plan and I get it. So if he can make this happen, dude, like this is a game changer, because I know what these super apps are like over, you hear stories about them, how that one app does everything. And it's just like, it would make life so easy. I'm sure there's a whole other train of thought that says it's like, tracking and conspiracy theory and it's controlling. But you know what? Life would be so much easier if it was just one app to find everything.
That's the thing. Communist China, that sounds right. But in capitalist America,
feels weird, right? It feels like it's very convenient as far as I'm concerned, right?
It does seem like a convenience. Yes, it really does.
It's a matter of perspective.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, we'll see how this ends up. Maybe as a future episode, we'll have to revisit and see how.
I'm sure we'll be talking about this
how
one again.
Elon
So
does.
let us know what you guys think about this. Let us know if you think we're on crack, if we're on to something, and by all means, feel free to critique that X logo.
Yes, feel free. And check out the Harley Davidson logo too.
I'd be curious to see what people think about that one,
Yeah. exactly.
That one's a shocking one.
That
right?
was really.
There's so much history
like
in Harley.
That was like a knife in the heart,
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's
Just see
exactly what I
that,
mean.
like, because
Yeah.
I'm not a Harley guy. I've never professed to be a Harley guy, but I fucking love and respect that logo.
Right.
It's awesome. It was
I
great.
appreciate everything that logo
It's like
stands
Jack
for,
Daniels.
so,
You know what I mean? Like these are there's certain logos that are just like.
Can you imagine if Jack Daniels just went to like the outline of the label? The fuck?
Yeah.
Kind of feel like that's what's happening right now. So let's see how this plays out.
Oh no! Please don't do that to me.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
With that being said, you know where to find us. Okay, we're on Instagram. We're on Threads, but obviously it's declining very quickly. Maybe you'll see us on X one
Yeah,
day.
we might
I
be
don't
on
know.
X. Who knows?
And definitely we're on YouTube. So give us a look over there and join. Have us playing in the back while you're working. I don't know, whatever. However that
whatever.
works.
Yeah.
But you know
Blast
where
it
to
for
find
your
us.
coworkers.
And join. Yeah, right. And you know how to join the conversation. So please reach out to us. Don't feel hit us up on private notes, hit us up on YouTube, on Instagram, but I do love talking to everybody, honestly. And some of the cool things we hear and see, it just keeps this podcast going.
Yes.
And it'll keep going as long as we know that there's people who are actually getting shit from it.
Yeah.
And that we're helping people.
This is really good.
I hope so.
This was
right?
really good.
This is a different takeaway, in
Yes,
my opinion.
this changed my mind, and I've known you forever.
Yeah, he's used to my fucking rants, so. All right, buddy.
Okay.
That being said,
Yes.
my name's Massimo.
My name is Sean.
Stay creative.
And stay angry.